Why, though? Hello and welcome back to Behind the Wall. So, does anyone remember who Chad Finchum is? Yeah, he barely is rememberable as it is. Chad Finchum is another forgettable driver from the MBM Motorsports stable who has average to bad runs. That is literally the only thing I can get from him without making stuff up or getting to the topic real quickly. So, this year, Chad Finchum is competing in the Xfinity Series as a Rookie of the Year. Yeah, apparently 28th was good enough to get himself a full-time ride with MBM. Yet somehow, he has been confirmed to be making his first Cup start. Yeah, his Cup start after only a 28th place finish in the Xfinity Series at Bristol. Bristol is one of those tracks that, isn't really kind to rookies, but I guess they thought it was the best idea to make him start there? So let me get this straight. Brennan Poole doesn't get a ride, yet Chad Finchum is making his first Cup start. How does that even work? Chad Finchum hasn't proven himself yet as a capable driver for the Cup Series with mediocre stats and a not-so-capable team. Yet he gets to have his first Cup start before Tyler Reddick or Christopher Bell. Yeah, that makes total sense. Two promising young rookies are still developing their talent and waiting for rides to open up to make their first Cup starts, but Chad Finchum doesn't have to wait. How does that even make logical sense? I guess I could see that he got his Cup debut ride from sponsorship from MBM Motorsports, but yeah, that was probably it. How will Finchum fare? The same way that Corey LaJoie is running right now. He'll probably have some kind of mechanical failure or a crash or something like that. But he has no experience against the guys in the Cup Series right now, especially veterans like Jimmy Johnson or Kurt Busch. I think this is the one prediction as of right now that is destined to come true unless Bubba Wallack or Trevor Bayne screw up again. Chad Finchum is not ready for the Cup Series. Unless he proves himself in, say, JGR or JR Motorsports equipment, there is no way he is getting a full-time ride in the Cup Series unless some desperate team like Premium or BK hire him. Chad Finchum has not proven himself worthy of a Cup ride yet, and I don't think he ever will. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I don't have anything against underdogs or guys who don't perform well. No, I can live with them. In fact, there's a handful of them who are quite popular amongst the NASCAR community, and I myself have some drivers that I do wish performed better, and I do like to watch them race. But Chad Finchum is way too forgettable for me to sympathize with. He's just a guy who I've never heard of before and never does anything interesting. He doesn't perform well and is only in his Cup ride because of sponsorship. Why does he even have a full-time Xfinity ride? And if he does, why don't Brennan Poole or Blake Cook? Or why doesn't Herman Quiroga have a ride? Why doesn't Timothy Peters have a ride? Why don't all these great guys who can at least perform well not have rides? Yet this man, who I've never even heard of before, does. How does a guy who doesn't perform decent have a ride, yet two guys who have shown that they are capable of winning don't? Just tell me, how? How does that work? And yes, I acknowledge that he has a K&N Pro Series win, but anyone who's young can win there. But these are the big boys. Chad Finchum's run haven't proven that he's worthy to even contend in the Cup Series. To put it bluntly, Chad Finchum is not deserving of a ride in the Cup Series, and he never will be!